Hi, we're Maos.
Maos!
I'm Dan, this is
Adam.
I'm Nikolai. I'm Felix.
And I'm Jordan.
We've been talking about collaborating for quite a while now, and obviously we heard about BFX. We thought this is a perfect opportunity to do this. We've got the possibility of working with industry professionals and creating a piece that we're truly proud of. Gordon will obviously talk you through how we're going to do this.
Basically what we want to achieve from this is we want to make the best possible piece we can do. This, for most of us, it will be the second time we've undertaken a project of this scale, and we really just want to push our abilities as far as possible. As Dan mentioned, I mean, we have been wanting to work together for a while, and this will give us great practice for our second year, but our ultimate aim here is to make the best piece we can.
Basically, we are choosing the Odysseus Cyclops brief as a base, and we're taking a sci-fi twist on it, but we will go through the storyboards and how we're going to tackle this a bit later on. For now, Dan will...
Well, our roles really, in our roles in the piece, I'll be taking the lead character modeler. I will be working on the topology as well, the UVs, and while I'm doing all this, the guys will be doing the hard modelling. I'll also be the project leader. As project leader, I will make sure everything goes smoothly.
Slave driver.
And slave driver. I tend to not let people sleep when when I'm in control.
He's basically the ZBrush mastermind. So,
Trying my best.
My main strengths are programming and scripting, so I'll be bringing technical direction to the group. I'll also be a hold of the look development and lighting, and also probably holding Dan's hand through Linux.
I'll be doing all the technical direction, mainly responsible for rigging. I'll also be responsible for pipeline support, meaning that I will oversee all the assets, pretty much from models all the way through to comp, and also helping Adam having all the assets that he needs for development and lighting. I'll be involved in the VFX part as well, where Mark is going to be our lead VFX artist.
Yeah, I'm another techie, strong skills in programming and maths. I'll be working mainly on the effects, mostly shattering and groundbreaking sort of effects, but also atmospheric things like particles in the air and like debris, dust, things like that.
I'll be mostly working on textures and compositing. Strength, well, I'm an artist like Dan and Felix. Strength is definitely texturing, and basically Mari, Photoshop, Nuke, but I'm also very strong in Maya and ZBrush, so you can help out there where needed, but the main thing will be creating maps for the shader nodes and such alongside Adam.
I'm the artistic director. I've got a strong background in art, and I'll be doing most of the pre-production design work. We'll be helping out texturing the main character of the piece, and any sort of modelling I'll be doing as well in the meantime when I'm not busy. I'll also be animating, hopefully not too much animation, but I'll be the animator. We'll now go on to talk about how we're going to tackle this piece.
Hey guys, it's Gordon and Felix here from Team Maos.
Hey!
And we're going to talk you through our storyboard for the pitch and explain on how we intend on attempting to tackle it. So before we start, we emphasise one point, however, which is that we have included a number of concepts with our submission, as well as a detailed storyboard and animatic. We haven't actually settled on our design at all yet, though.
Yeah, it's all subject to change at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Should we go through the storyboard, Felix?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing the Cyclops piece, sci-fi approach to it. I don't think they've done a sci-fi approach.
It's not been done anywhere near as much as fantasy has, anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very minimal piece. The narrative is incredibly minimal as well.
It's just Odysseus and his men trying to kill a rampaging Cyclops.
it's pretty much just that. So we want to do it in a similar style to trailers of games such as Cyberpunk and Zombie U, where it's just a slow motion shot panning around our central character with a piece of calm music juxtaposed against it.
Yeah, the more the camera moves, the more of the scene becomes revealed, and the audience gets a full reveal of what's actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. So we start off with an extreme close-up of Odysseus. He's looking very tense, very serious. We don't know what's going on. And as we pull back and start panning around him, we see one of his men flying past. This is not in the storyboard as well. We see one of his men flying past. We don't know what's happened. The camera pans around more and more. He's
reloading his weapon. He cocks it, pulling on the fire mechanism.
Yep, and we see little details like the reload handle snapping back, bits of smoke coming from the barrel of the gun, atmospheric effects.
Yeah, lots of beautiful things like that could be added onto it.
Yeah.
And then finally, finally pans round, we get the big reveal of what's happening. We've got the villain of the piece, the Cyclops, this huge towering monster. Odysseus is framed in the foreground, facing off against him, the hero. The Cyclops in the background, the villain. He's smashing one of Odysseus' men into the ground with his fists.
Yeah, we see all sorts of shattering effects and debris flying
the ground's
everywhere.
erupting.
Yeah,
and
slow motion, I think.
Odysseus, exactly. All still in slow motion. Odysseus is lining up to take a shot, and then we cut or fade to titles.
Yeah, pretty much. Now we'll show you our previs.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, so here's our previs. We knocked this up quite quickly, and there's not a lot of detail in it, so we'll try and explain what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so now we see the camera's pulling back.
Yeah. One thing you might notice, we put My Way by Frank Sinatra as a sounds clip to it, because we think the timing works quite nicely.
Yeah. So yeah, he's reloading his weapon, the thing snaps back. There's a lot of volumetric effects going on right now. You can see the shattering in the ground. Ripples perhaps in slow motion appearing on the ground.
Yeah, the scene is quite sparse at the moment. Again, this is just because we didn't actually even do any design. We just knocked this up very quickly. We obviously would need to fill this with effects, with more debris.
Yeah.
We like the idea of the environment actually being smashed up because this creature's been on the rampage.
Yeah.
Again, this is all looking very
like
smashed up.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were considering maybe the Cyclops he would have smashed through the roof or something.
Yeah, or the wall, or maybe it's even post-apocalyptic. Again, we haven't settled on this
on the
at all
design.
yet.
And just little details, bullet casings on the ground, stuff like that. We really we just need to populate the scene more. But I think this makes it's a really good idea.
Hopefully this should give you a good idea of what we're proposing doing. Right, so how we're going to try and approach this piece. The idea is obviously we have to do pre-production, so for the first few days we'll be doing our best to blitz that out, nail down the design. What we've decided to do is, because Dan is an absolute demon in ZBrush, what's going to happen is he's going to take on the majority of the character models himself. The idea, and whilst he's doing that, all 5 of the rest of us will be modelling the environments based on whatever design we come up with.
And then as soon as each of the main characters come out, we'll jump onto texturing them as well.
Yeah, and rigging them and such. Basically, as soon as one's released, we'll start working on them. We do have the environments down to be modelled hopefully within a week. That might seem rather ambitious, but then again, we do have 5 of us concentrating purely on that, whilst the first character's being modelled. And all 5 of us are very good at environmental modelling, so whilst it might seem ambitious, we think it
should be fine.
It should be possible. And as soon as the Odysseus is done, Felix will start texturing Odysseus, I'll start texturing the environments, Nikolai doing rigging, Morag will then move on to effects, etc. once we've got that. The idea is to start rendering about 2 weeks from the deadline, and hopefully composite this in the last week and complete the production pack for it. But that's pretty much what our plan is on how we're going to try and tackle this. The environment we might look at doing modularly. That way we'll be able to move on to other parts of it very quickly, construct it quickly, and then smash it up.
And look development will start as soon as the initial models and textures are done.
Exactly.
So that'll be happening throughout the piece.
Yeah, exactly. It'll all be happening in the background. Anyway, look at our diagrams for a more detailed explanation of what we're hoping to do.